personable, and popular young man. Ray Boom Boom Mancini getting a second opportunity to win a world championship and in just 6 months' time. And, of course, Mancini's mission to win that title for his father. His father, a lightweight contender 40 years ago, had his chance at the title wiped out by World War II. But his father is here today. There's his mother, Ellen Mancini, and they're hoping that today that lightweight title will be in the Mancini family. And, of course, Art Frias, the defending champion who won it from Claude Noel, defended against Ernesto Espana, another personable young man from Montebello, California. And he very much, like Mancini, a family man, wants to keep the crown in the Frias family. Should be a most exciting battle today. We've got quite a crowd on hand and a lot of luminaries from the boxing world as well. So we'll be coming up with this lightweight championship here in Las Vegas very shortly. Back to you, Brent. Both these young men, they're going to be right in front of each other. They won't be doing any hiding. Each fighter will not have to go looking for the other, that's for sure. Gil Clancy with us as usual on our boxing coverage. And Gil, I think what makes this such an exciting World Championship bout is not just that it figures to be action-filled, but because these are both very special people.
Tim, these are two of the finest young men I've met all the years I've been in boxing. They're both concerned about their family, friends, and people in general. And they're both dedicated to the sport of boxing. Unfortunately, Tim, only one of them is going to walk out as champion of the world today.
Well, all right. We had a chance to talk to Ray Boom Boom Mancini yesterday about getting a second chance at a world title in just 6 months' time.
I feel very blessed to get a chance at the world title, and again, that's in such a short period of time. You know, I said after the Arguello fight that, you know, maybe it wasn't the right time, but, you know, I had faith, and I just prayed that, you know, please, you know, let me come back and show my worthiness as a top contender and as a champion.
Ray, in your first championship fight, you were in against a living legend, Alexis Arguello. This time, perhaps, a mere mortal in Art Frias.
Well, you know, against Alexis, you know, I knew what I was up against, and I trained. I was very confident we were going, you know, I could beat the man, you know. But like sometimes closer to when the fight gets closer, you know, your mind starts playing tricks on you, and you start saying, "Wow, you know, this guy's terrific. How am I going to get past him?" You know, and then you know, you start getting them thoughts, but you try to get them out of your mind. But with this fight, I know I'm the better fighter. It's just, you know, in my mind that everything he can do, I can do better. You know, Art Frias is a family man, and I respect him and admire him for that. And he has a goal in his mind to feed his family, you know. But it ain't like I beat him, he's going to be in the obscurity. He's going to be there. He'll be back. But this is something I want to do all my life. This has been my life's mission in my eyes, you know. Ever since I was a little boy, this is all I've ever wanted to do. It's not like I just thought of it yesterday. So, not that I have to feed my family or feed a family. It's just that I have to do this, you know, in the later years. You know, I can look at my father and know, in my mind, I finally given him the one thing in life that I've always wanted to give him. And, you know, I'll be satisfied for the rest of my life, you know, that I finally did what I had set out to do.
Well, Lenny Mancini is here along with his wife Ellen, and of course hoping today that that world lightweight title will be in the Mancini family at the conclusion of the bout today against Art Frias. One of the many boxing figures in attendance today, the fight people know this is a great fight, is Alexis Arguello. Is here preparing for his May 22nd defense against Andy Ganigan. And boxing fans certainly remember the poignant moment here on CBS Sports after his fight against Mancini. Ray Mancini.
I love you, father. That's the most beautiful thing you have, like I have my father. Take good care of you. You're going to be a good promise. And I promise, if I can do something for you, let me know, please.
Thank you.
Alexis Arguello is with us here live now. And Alex, certainly you know all about Boom Boom Mancini. What do you think is going to happen here today against Art Frias?
Well, I saw both kids training here in the Aladdin Hotel. And I think Boom Boom, all we know, is a good slugger, is a good puncher. It's coming out of you all the time. He's like to fight, but the only way I can see Frias can get along in the fight is to try to box, keep away from the rope, and stay being in the middle of the ring with Mancini, because Mancini is a tough fighter.
All right, well, Alexis Arguello leaning towards Ray Boom Boom Mancini. We're going to be back to meet Art Frias, the champion. We are back at the Aladdin Hotel on the Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada for this lightweight championship bout. The challenger, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, is already in the ring. He has a number of supporters here from Youngstown, Ohio, who made the trek out to see him go after the World Championship, his second title try. Here comes the WBA champion from Montebello, California, Art Frias, who has lost only once in a rather controversial loss to Ernesto España, which he later avenged. And he is, of course, the man who came from nowhere to win the WBA crown. Last December, Art Frias came in as a replacement and knocked out the then champion Claude Noel in the 8th round to win the WBA title. But despite the thrill of his victory and the attendant acclaim, Art told me yesterday his feet are still firmly on the ground.
Nothing has changed. Every Sunday we go to church, and after church I see my softball team play, and I got still same old friends. My daughters, they still go to their practices. In fact, my daughter, she called me today and she told me a very happy news. She made the cheerleading team, and even more than that, she's the captain of the team. So all those things, that's where my happiness is, with my family.
Well, after you defended against Ernesto España, you had to hurry home for another sports event.
Christine, my youngest one, 10, she played in an all-star game, and she's the only girl on the all-boys team. And she's the tallest, and she caught the winning rebound. Very exciting game. The final score was 25-24, and we were very happy about that. Took them out, and we went to dinner after. That was her day too.
I understand that with your championship winnings, you're able to buy your wife a new house.
It's a great country of ours, Tim, and I feel only here in America I would have been able to do this. And I was a kid from the barrios. I never owned nothing, and only here in the United States now I got my house, and I got a car, and now I can have a little money to hopefully, I always tell everybody I'm 3 fights away from UCLA, and they tell me, you're going back to school? I say, no, I'm sending my daughters to UCLA, give them the education that I never had.
We all know that Boom Boom Mancini is very close to his father. I know that you're close to your family too.
Like I said, I don't like to go back on that, but I came from a very hard part of town that I was really a loner. I didn't really have nothing. And when I met my wife, and I met my daughters, they changed my whole life around, and they made me the man I am now. I'm very determined to get what I want, and I feel that that's what they've done for me.
So you're going to try and keep this title for them?
Exactly. In fact, that's why I'm dedicating the fight to my wife and 2 girls.
Art's wife, Rose, is in the audience. She won't sit near ringside. She's well back in the audience, and they were married in 1975. She was a widow at the time with 2 daughters. And his father, Cecilio, is also here, a Mexican native, and here at ringside to cheer on his son, Art Frias, in defense of his crown. And we're just about ready to go. Let's join the ring announcer, Chuck Hull.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the afternoon. 15 rounds of boxing for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing, in the blue corner, fighting out of Youngstown, Ohio, weighing 135 pounds, the challenger, Ray Boom Boom Mancini. And in the red corner, formerly of East Los Angeles, California, now fighting out of Montebello, California, he weighs 134.5 pounds, introducing the WBA Lightweight Champion of the World, Art Frias. 15 rounds of boxing.
Art Frias, the champion, with support from Montebello, California, and environs, and certainly many Californians here in the Vegas area. And Ray Mancini with supporters here from Youngstown, Ohio, as we see the tail of the tape. 21-year-old Ray Mancini weighed in right at the limit, 135 at the weigh-in last evening. Frias 134.25. They are just about the same height, as you can see. And a little bit of a nick on the nose of the champion, Art Frias, if you wondered about it in the interview and thereafter. It occurred last week in training last Sunday. It's not considered serious. The commission doctor, Donald Romeo, checked it out, said it should not be a problem. And there's a look at the nose and the slight cut high on the bridge of the nose. And of course, as you can see, and as Art well knows, he has a rather prominent proboscis, and so he expects to get hit there, but it is not considered to be any kind of a problem. We're ready to go with the referee, Richard Green of Las Vegas. The scoring by 3 judges at ringside: Chuck Minker, Dwayne Ford, and Lou Tabbitt, all from Las Vegas. WBA rules on the 10-point scoring system. Mancini in red trunks, the champion, Frias, in black trunks.
Tim, Alexis Arguello said that the only chance that Art Frias has is to box Mancini. Now, we know that's not his style. Let's see if he does try to change the box. It doesn't look like it from now.
Good left hand by Frias. Staggered Mancini. Mancini getting his balance back, and now comes back with a two-fisted attack. And while we watched Frias practice boxing all week in training, we had the feeling he'd be out there in his club style once the bell went, and that's what's happened. A slugfest in the opening round. And the best punches so far landed by the champion, Frias.
He certainly hurt Ray with that early punch, Tim. He shook him up pretty good.
Lands a good solid left jab, but Mancini staying right there with him.
In this fight, Tim, I believe Art Frias is going to use that right hand as much as possible. He's going to overwork the right hand. We watched him in training. He was throwing it nice and straight.
He did work on boxing. He did work on defense along the ropes, but he has had no occasion to use it early on here. He's just been right out there, as he said, 2 pit bulls would be the way this fight would be. He said they advertised my fight against Espana as the Matador and the Bull. He said today it's just 2 bulls in there. And they are at it. Frias with a good combination to the face of Mancini. There was blood from that cut under the left eye of Frias, the cut he suffered in the title defense against Ernesto Espana, that indeed stopped that fight, with Frias winning on a technical decision because he was ahead on the cards. It took 15 stitches to close that gash. It is under the eye. Gil, what's your opinion of it?
Well, we don't like to see anybody get cut, Tim, but it's not in any place that would endanger his vision at all. His vision. He'll be able to see the blood will not go into his eye. Again, it's of course how much it opens up. If it opens up, look at this. Look at this exchange.
Mancini and Frias just battering him right back. Now blood from the nose of Ray Mancini. And remember that likewise, Gil, is not considered a problem with Ray. He bleeds easily from the nose. He lands a big left hook to the face of the champion. And a right hand. And that staggered Frias. Mancini has Frias in trouble. What a war. Down goes Frias. The champion is on the floor. Art Frias with less than 30 seconds to go now in this first round.
He better get on his bicycle now. He better get on his bicycle.
Mancini jumps all over him, and he is in trouble on the ropes. Ray Mancini has the champion Frias in more trouble. It's target practice from Mancini. Throwing those non-stop punches he's famous for. Frias, it is all over. As referee Richard Green has stopped the bout. A first round knockout for Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Tim, that was about as sensational a round as you'll ever see in a World Championship fight for a first round. They're usually a feel-out round. Not today.
Mancini, who had been staggered by Art Frias early in the round, just battled back and overwhelmed the champion, scoring a knockdown and then driving him against the ropes and preventing Frias from getting back into it at all. That well-known by now non-stop punching attack of Boom Boom Mancini. And Richard Green saying that Frias simply, at one point there on the ropes, could not get his hands up to defend himself. And Boom Boom Mancini has lifted the crown from Art Frias and has brought that world title to the Mancini family in Youngstown, Ohio. And his mission of winning the lightweight title that his father never won has been accomplished here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Aladdin Hotel today. There is bedlam in the ring, as you can see. There are many supporters here from Youngstown, and it looks like all of them from buses and trains and cars and planes have all jammed in to the ring. His father and mother in there. There is Mrs. Ellen Mancini embracing her son, who has won this title. He failed to do against Alexis Arguello, getting his second chance. That's his father on the right of the screen with the glasses and the white hair, and a weeping Ray Mancini has finally done what he had set out to do. He is 21 years of age, it took him 24 professional fights to accomplish winning this lightweight title. He's lost only once in his try for the WBC crown. Art Frias, who came from nowhere to win the crown from Claude Noel, defended it against Ernesto España, and like Mancini, a very personable, popular, likable young man, it was not his day-to-day against the buzzsaw attack of Ray Mancini. Ray told us in training, he said, you know, I really want to get to know Art Frias, and I want to talk to him after the fight. He seems like such a nice guy, but he said, I can't do that until this fight is over. You saw the WBA belt, the title belt. There is Ray Mancini. We're going to be talking to him in a moment. There's his dad. Let's go back into the action in round one and see what happened there, as we'll see the first knockdown with Mancini landing a big left hook and then a straight right hand, bringing it up from below, and that sent Frias to the canvas.
Followed by a left hook, Tim. The left hook was the punch to put him down. Left hook, right hand, and then a left hook.
Now, after Frias regained his feet, Richard Green, the referee, checks him out. But Mancini, with no let-up, knowing he has Frias in trouble, comes right after him. Frias still trying to regain his balance and composure here, but Mancini taking him right to the ropes, Gil.
Yes, he's throwing those punches, Tim, one after the punches in bunches, one right after the other. He's not going to let up.
And we're seeing it in slow motion, so as you
Tim,
know,
that's 5 consecutive punches, all on the button.
Mancini, a good finisher, his 18th knockout. Richard Green taking a close look at it here. We'll step in shortly. Again, just obviously it is in slow motion. It didn't quite take this long, but Frias will suddenly not be able to get those hands up in defense against this relentless attack from Mancini. Here comes referee Green, looking into the eyes of the champion Frias. Mancini continues to wail away.
Tim,
Solid left hook there.
He must have thrown 50 punches, Tim.
And Richard Green steps in. We're going to see that knockdown punch one more time. It was a left hook right to the ear that really kind of wobbled him. He's in trouble now, and he's wide open. Mancini misses on that right hand that I thought landed in the last replay, and then a solid left hook that you called, Gil, right again to the chin, to the cheekbone of the champion Frias. Another solid left hand. That was the one that did it. So Boom Boom Mancini winning the WBA lightweight championship here in Las Vegas. We're going to go up and chat with him momentarily. Right now, we'll take you back to our studios in New York and Brent Musburger. All right, Brent, well, there is chaos in the ring here at the Aladdin Hotel. You're looking at the new world champion, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, his father Lenny, his mother Ellen. Ray, I know that you've got some thoughts on your mind. I want to see if you can articulate them.
First and foremost, I got to thank God for giving me the strength, the power, and the courage to get this fight, to win this fight. I just want to thank God for having all the beautiful people of Youngstown here to cheer me on, my beautiful family here to share this with me. Thank God for all the people back in Youngstown watching, for my grandmother watching in Youngstown, my grandfather up in the mountains, just for all the Easter Seal kids back home I love. Everything, this is theirs.
Lenny, your son promised you when he was a youngster starting out that he would win this world title. Did you believe the first time he said, Dad, I'm going to win that title for you? Did you believe him?
Well, that was his dream. I always had to believe what he said, because he dreamt that he was going to be a champion. That was all right with me.
There wasn't any doubt in your mind, huh?
Oh, no.
Well, the day has arrived. How did he look to you?
He looked strong. He looked good to me.
Ray, were you surprised that it only went around? I know in talking to you during the week, you had a lot of respect for Frias. You thought he was a strong guy, and you expected it to be a longer fight.
Well, I expected that type of fight. The first round was a typical fight I expected. I didn't know how fast it was going to go. Just because he went out one round don't mean nothing, because it was just a terrific... where have you seen a better first round? So I'm just saying it was that type of fight. One of us was bound to go. I just got was blessed to catch him. He hit me with some shots. He hurt me.
He hit you with a good left hook early, didn't he?
He's a great champion. I'm just going to try to be as good as champion as Art Frias. He's a hell of a guy. I respect him, admire him, and I know he's going to be back, so I ain't heard the last of him.
Ray, we're going to take a look at that knockdown again. This is the first knockdown, and you can perhaps talk us through it.
Well, I hit him with a hook. I know I heard him with a hook. He backed up, on the heels of his foot, and I just kept throwing to try to throw that hook, and kept firing from all angles, bound to catch him one of these times. And, at that time I was getting hit, when I heard him, boy, it was just like, I just felt like a bull, man, you know. I heard him, and I jumped right on him till he goes.
There wasn't any question when he got up that you were in to try and finish him off. There was no question at all going back to that Arguello situation.
No, not at all. I knew he was going to try to survive. I just hoping that bell wouldn't ring. Just keep throwing punches. And Richard Dean did a hell of a job. He jumped right in there, you know, wouldn't let him get hurt, because I was hitting him with some shots. He was bleeding bad. He was hurt. And like I said, it's just the greatest thing in my life. This is the greatest thing to be able to give my father. And I've served my purpose now.
Ray,
thank God.
Ray, you said that when have you seen a first round of a championship fight like that? That's exactly what Gil Clancy said as it finished. Said, can anybody remember a first round in a title fight like that? Tremendous display. We're going to be returning here shortly. Right now, we're going to take this time out for a commercial message. We'll be back.
Just like Leo said, that the only chance that Art Frias has is to box Mancini. Now, we know that's not his style. Let's see if he does try to change the box. It doesn't look like it from now.
Good left hand by Frias. Staggered Mancini. Mancini getting his balance back, and now comes back with a two-fisted attack. And while we watched Frias practice boxing all week in training, we had the feeling he'd be out there in his club style once the bell went, and that's what's happened. A slugfest in the opening round. And the best punches so far landed by the champion, Frias.
He certainly hurt Ray with that early punch, Tim. He shook him up pretty good.
Lands a good solid left jab, but Mancini staying right there with him.
In this fight, Tim, I believe Art Frias is going to use that right hand as much as possible. He's going to overwork the right hand. We watched him in training. He was throwing it nice and straight.
He did work on boxing. He did work on defense along the ropes, but he has had no occasion to use it early on here. He's just been right out there, as he said, two pit bulls would be the way this fight would be. He said they advertised my fight against Espana as the Matador and the Bull. He said today it's just two bulls in there. And they are at it. Frias with a good combination to the face of Mancini. There is blood from that cut under the left eye of Frias, the cut he suffered in the title defense against Ernesto Espana that indeed stopped that fight, with Frias winning on a technical decision because he was ahead on the cards. It took 15 stitches to close that gash. It is under the eye. Gil, what's your opinion of it?
Well, we don't like to see anybody get cut, Tim, but it's not in any place that would endanger his vision at all. His vision. He'll be able to see the blood will not go into his eye. Again, it's of course how much it opens up. If it opens up, look at this. Look at this exchange.
Mancini and Frias just battering him right back. Now blood from the nose of Ray Mancini. And remember that likewise, Gil, is not considered a problem with Ray. He bleeds easily from the nose. He lands a big left hook to the face of the champion. And a right hand. And that staggered Frias. Mancini has Frias in trouble. What a war. Down goes Frias. The champion is on the floor. Art Frias, with less than 30 seconds to go now in this first round.
He better get on his bicycle now. He better get on his bicycle.
Mancini jumps all over him, and he is in trouble on the ropes. Ray Mancini has the champion Frias in more trouble. It's target practice from Mancini. Throwing those non-stop punches he's famous for. Frias, it is all over as referee Richard Dean stopped the bout. A first round knockout for Ray Boom Boom Mancini. All right, Boom Boom Mancini was listening to our commentary. You saw about 15 rounds of action packed into 3 minutes there. Do you believe what you just saw, Ray?
I can't believe it. I won't believe it for the next couple of years. I just want to thank every CBS, Aladdin Hotel, Ash Resnick, Top Rank. They made this come true for me.
Ray, you thanked everybody, and everybody thanks you for your excitement. We're going to be back here in Las Vegas. We're going to talk to Alexis Arguello, who's got his WBC title fight coming up here on CBS on May 22nd. Right.
A ground effect or Indianapolis car. Gordon Smiley going turn 3 at this point. Suddenly the car veers right to the left and slams into that wall, probably at more than 200 miles an hour. Gordon Smiley died instantly in this accident, a horrific accident. Again, you see the car beginning to slide at this point. He corrects the slide, and the car goes in exactly the way that the front wheels are pointing and slams almost head on into the wall. The compression of the car at that speed, it's almost like an aircraft accident, almost that of a ballistic missile with fuel, oil, and the car